Hello fellow adventurers, and welcome to the channel. Every great expedition has a starting line. For us, it's the mile zero sign in Dawson Creek. That's the moment many months of planning finally became a reality. Today, we're setting out on the first leg of our journey, following the Alaska Highway through some of Canada's most spectacular wilderness toward Liard River Hot Springs. We don't know what we'll find around the next corner, but that's exactly why we came. Let's hit the road. Mile zero is officially behind us. We always knew the Alaska Highway would test us, but starting under a northern downpour makes the adventure feel real, really fast. This first stretch doesn't look dramatic yet, but that's all part of the story. The highway eases you into the journey before revealing some of the most spectacular scenery in northern British Columbia. From Dawson Creek, it's nothing but highway, trees, and unpredictable weather ahead.
The rain has finally tapered off, leaving us under a moody, low-hanging northern sky. Out here, the landscape starts to stretch out. Services can be hundreds of kilometers apart, and you quickly learn to appreciate every fuel stop along the way. The towns get smaller, the spaces between them get longer, and you really start to feel the scale of the Canadian North.
The cost of things really varied and started to increase as we went up. We saw the price of gas, groceries. Of course, it makes sense. Obviously, everything's getting brought into a community from somewhere else, and the cost of bringing those things in obviously goes up. And really big increases in the cost of really everything. But again, I think that's part of the reality of living in some of those northern communities and just the remoteness and difficulty in getting goods.
Yeah, there's no nearby ports. Everything has to be driven up. So it's, there's a big difference in groceries, everything.
One thing we quickly learned is to stay alert. Wildlife can appear almost anywhere along the highway. It was really great to spot a black bear. Spring and early summer often find them grazing along the roadside, feeding on vegetation where sunlight reaches the edge of the highway. Just a reminder that out here, we are strictly visitors in their living room. We stayed at Stone Mountain Provincial Park, which was a perfect place to stop. The campground is right on the edge of the lake, which made for a really pretty sunset. Just past the park, the scenery shifts completely. It's a beautiful view with the water on our left, framed perfectly by these massive rocky peaks. This is the dramatic heart of the Northern Rockies. The trees thin out, the drop-offs get steep, and you realize just how massive this mountain pass really is. We're pushing through the highest elevation point on the entire Alaska Highway. In this area, the highway reaches just over 4,000 feet or 1,200 meters.
Dropping back down from the high peaks, the valley floor opens up. The dense northern boreal forest swallows up the highway as we cross a mountain river bridge. One of the things we loved about this drive was how quickly the scenery changed. Every few minutes there seemed to be another river crossing, another mountain range, or another vista opening up ahead. For the next few miles, we're hugging the banks of the iconic Toad River. The water winds its way through this valley before eventually joining the Liard River farther north. Like so many waterways along the Alaska Highway, it helped shape both the landscape and the route that the engineers chose more than 80 years ago. For us, this stretch became one of the highlights of the drive.
Traffic looks a little different up here. Just a few kilometers outside our final stop, we hit a classic Alaska Highway traffic slowdown. Another iconic resident of northern British Columbia made an appearance.
They're big.
Wood bison are the largest land mammals in North America, with bulls weighing close to a ton. The herd around Liard River is one of the best known places along the Alaska Highway to see them. Watching them graze just meters from the road was one of those moments that reminds you this is their home. We're just passing through.
We saw wood bison, which was really incredible. They were right at the roadside, and we actually saw adult nursing a calf, wood bison. I think that's what a wood bison calf is called. But and we also saw lots of deer, sort of countless, moose, stone sheep, which I didn't even realize. I didn't know what stone sheep were, but they're sort of a lovely color. If you've seen the sheep in Jasper or Banff, they're a lovely color of sort of darker grayish mountain sheep. So they were pretty spectacular, and they were also just off the highway.
For more than 20 years, Liard River Hot Springs has been on our bucket list. Finally, we were on the boardwalk leading into one of Canada's famous natural hot springs. Sometimes places you've waited decades to visit don't live up to the anticipation. This wasn't one of them.
After 20 years, we finally made it to Liard Hot Springs. It's been on our bucket list for a very long time.
Yes, for a very long time.
And it just never seemed to fit into a trip we were doing. So
we tried to add it on numerous times, and it just never made sense because it was always like 14 hours of driving just to go to Liard Hot Springs.
But we made it. It's one of the few hot springs that are actually still in a natural setting. So other than some of the boardwalks and some of the infrastructure they built to allow you to get in and out of the hot springs, really the hot springs are still you're in the forest.
Largely.
It's coming out of the, ground into the pools. And they did, I'll say make the bottom of the pools comfortable, but really in a beautiful setting, natural setting, beautiful hot springs.
Beautiful hot springs.
As it happens, Liard Hot Springs is the second largest hot springs in Canada, which was a surprising fact. I had no idea. We'd been to lots of hot springs, I'd say, through southeastern British Columbia and then even into central British Columbia, but Liard Hot Springs, second largest hot spring in Canada.
And it also has a special program there called S.O.S, which is Save Our Snails, where it's a rare hot water physa. It's a small snail that it only exists there. So it doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. So they're trying to do their best to protect it and protect the habitat and sort of reduce, effects of people going in. So making sure people aren't using sunscreen and bug spray and all that stuff when they're going in the hot springs.
Yeah, it's an interesting balance between trying to preserve, I'll say the natural habitat. And these are really unique species that only exist in that hot spring environment, but also keeping it open for people to be able to enjoy and appreciate, that part of it. So there's an interesting balance between those 2 points.
Yeah, and you get some species growing there. They grow elsewhere, but don't grow elsewhere in the area because they just can't survive elsewhere in the area, but they can survive in the area around the hot springs where it just doesn't get as cold. So you get like the ferns that exist there don't exist in other areas in that, like they're down in the coast, right? So it's really interesting to see the variety.
The next part of our trip is going to take us farther up the Alcan Highway up into Alaska. Actually, we're going to go through Fairbanks and then move on to tackle the Dalton Highway. We're really looking forward to sharing the adventure with you, and we hope that we see you out there.